Wait, I'm back on YouTube. No way, this is weird. I have been gone for like a year, I think. Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. Anyway, I've been gone. I'm just gonna fill you guys in on like all the stuff that I didn't record. Let's get into it. Let's fill you guys in. Let's let this be like a chit chat situation. So get your food, get your drinks. I have a coffee and I'm really happy. So let's get into this. Let's do it. This is what I did. I decided to put some stuff on my phone. I made this document where I put all of my notes so that I can stay on track because there's been a lot going on. The last time I saw you guys, I was a freshman. Oh my gosh. I was a freshman and I was doing this show called The Wolves, okay? So with The Wolves, I'm gonna put some pictures here about like The Wolves. It's a soccer show. I know a lot of people are confused when I like post soccer pictures. They're like, Hannah, bestie, you've never played a sport. And I'm like, I know. It was just a fun experience. So I'm gonna post a video about my experience in The Wolves. It was such an amazing show. And like, you can see that in the video. We were such a close-knit cast. And for me to be a freshman and get cast in that show with all of these upperclassmen, I was blessed and highly favored. So that was one of my best experiences like of all time. I'm never gonna forget that. And it really taught me how to be a professional actor. So yeah, I'm gonna post that. I'm not gonna say anything else about it. It was such an amazing experience and I would not trade it for anything. It was such a blessing. So after The Wolves, we had these nominations. So this is what we do. We have this student organization that is connected to the Department of Theater and Dance at Auburn University, and it's called AU Players. I got nominated my freshman year to be t-shirt chair for the organization. At the end of the year, we have this banquet. It's a big banquet and we eat and we talk and we allow the seniors to give out their senior speeches, and they also give away their lockers. And so it's just such a beautiful experience to kind of like wrap up the year. My first banquet, I got chosen or voted to be the t-shirt chair. I knew that I would be an officer and being in like a leadership position would not be something easy, but I knew that I, could definitely do it. I was really excited about that. Oh, I was also, before the end of my freshman year, I was talking to one of my friends, Madison. Madison, I love you, girl. She is such an amazing stage manager. Like, chef's kiss to her. She is so organized. She's amazing. I love her. But I was talking to her and she was like, yeah, like we're looking for an ASM, which is an assistant stage manager. The show called Detroit 67 and it's the first show of the season. And I was like, I think I would be able to do it, but let me pray about it. I had a dream of me like working backstage rather than working on stage. A lot of the times as actors we're like, it's so hard being an actor. Oh my gosh, I have to learn all these lines. I have to remember all my blocking. I have to do all of these things, blah, blah, blah. But like, we don't realize how hard it is for everyone else. Theater is such a hard thing to accomplish because it's live. You can't redo it. I talked to the stage manager professor. I think that's the right way to say it. I think that's the right terminology. There's so many terms in theater, And I spoke with her and she was like, we would love to have you. Also, she's amazing. I love her so much. So she was like, we would love to have you as ASM. I was like, I'm gonna be assistant stage manager for the first show of the season. Yes! So I was like, I get to serve, I get to be a part of something, and we're just gonna see how it is. And boy, will I tell you, it is definitely hard being an assistant stage manager. I mean, I realize it's not something I wanna do. It's not something I wanna pursue at all for like the rest of my life. Is my camera crooked? Anyway, but it's definitely not something that I want to do for the rest of my life, but I'm so happy that I got the chance to do it. Like, that was definitely God working on my behalf to see how much work everyone puts into a show and to see how it is to be behind the scenes. I'm used to being on actor time, okay? We leave the theater at like maybe 10:30, which is still late, but like I still get enough time to maybe make some dinner. But the stage managers and the directors and the assistant directors and the assistant stage managers, you have to stay, you have to clean up, you have to make sure everything's back in order, you have to make sure everything's back on the prop table so that for tomorrow's rehearsal, everything will run smoothly. And I'm like, this is a lot. It's on my resume? Yeah, it's on my resume. Over the summer, going into my sophomore year, my friend Nick, I love Nick. I'm so inspired by Nick. Like he's so kind, and he emailed me and a couple of other theater people, and he was like, hey, like I'm looking for some assistant directors to help with the community theater. And I think this was his first time directing in the community theater, but he's from Auburn, so he had done community theater when he was younger, and now he's gotten the chance to direct. And I took it, and it was such a beautiful experience. I didn't get to do as much as I wanted to or be as involved as I wanted to because I had so much to do, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty. But yeah, it was such a beautiful experience to be an assistant director as well. Okay, so Pippin. Oh my gosh, I did Pippin. It was such a full circle moment. In Catholic school, I was introduced to theater, and that's why I got into it, because I was just thrust into this world. And my choir teacher, she loves show tunes. So we would be singing this one show tune over and over again. I used to be like, pulling my hair out. And the show tune was, it would be Seasons of Love, yeah, from Rent, and it would be Magic to Do from Pippin. I love music, don't get me wrong, I love singing. When it came to that song, I was like, it's not giving me what it needs to give. It's not worth my voice. After a while in high school, I started to grow a love for Pippin because we would sing the song over and over again. And after a while, I was like, actually, I kind of like this. So when they announced that we were doing Pippin, I was like, I have to be a part. Like, no one can stop me. Unless your name is Jesus Christ, you won't stop me from being in this show. I have to get cast in this show. And God does his thing, and I am in it. Hard work, it pays off. So I'm in the show. It's an amazing musical, and I will never forget it. The last night of the show, I cried because it was just such a beautiful, glamorous moment. Great. Ooh, costume. Okay, so there's a show called 12th Night or whatnot, and we did 12th Night, and I once again got to work backstage as one of the costume crew members. I literally learned how to sew. Like, I know how to hand sew now. Like, y'all can't tell me nothing. I know how to hand sew. I also got to dress one of my closest friends, and it was her first show, and it was such a blessing to like dress her and pray over her and like make sure that the quick changes were like quick. Yeah. So that was costume, and I was really excited about costume. It was amazing. December, I turned 20. Excuse me? I'm in my 20s now? Oh my gosh. Stop. Whatever God wants me to do is, he can let me do it. Like, just give me all the ability to do it. I'm in my 20s. Like, I don't want to get out of my 20s and be like, well, I regret doing this, and I also like didn't get a chance to do that, and blah 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 and whatever. Like, I'm doing everything God wants me to do. I auditioned for dance concert, maybe in November, maybe in December, and I got cast. I got cast to be in the dance concert, which is such an amazing thing. My freshman year, I was unable to do it because I was in the Wolves, and those shows were kind of like back to back, and as a freshman I was like afraid to do so many different things, even though as a freshman I did a lot of things. I was like in 2 shows at the same time, and also if I were to be in the dance concert, that would be like 3 shows all together, and I probably would have like ran away or something, I don't know. Once auditions were over, we have 2 choreographers that are a part of our department, and they're like our professors, our dance teachers, and one of them called out some numbers, or like some of the people's numbers, and one of those numbers was my number, and I was really happy about that. And she like comes up to us and she's like, hey, so what if you guys worked with a guest choreographer? And I was like, I would love to. I'm not gonna say no to that. It was amazing. No complaints whatsoever. The only complaint that I did have, my feet, the bottom, oh my gosh. Getting to perform every single night on the main stage, doing dance, was something that I never would have thought that I would do, because I've done competitive dance, I've done dance in church, I've done dance at school. It can be toxic, if that makes sense. But yeah, I got back into dance, and that's literally that. Okay, let's see. I joined a playwriting class, and I will say it was very interesting. I remember in high school, I wrote a poem, and my teacher was like, you need to put this in the literary magazine. And I was like, if they're not paying me, I'm not gonna do it. I didn't tell her that. I love her. But I was thinking about that, and I said, no, I'm fine. I'll just keep this poem to myself. My senior year, I wrote a report about the adultification of Black women, of young Black girls specifically, and my teacher was like, you need to put this in the literary magazine. And I was like, oh my goodness. Okay, please, just take it, I don't care if I'm not gonna get paid. And also to this day, I love my high school, but till this day, I have not gotten a copy of that. I know what I wrote because I wrote it, but like, I would like to see it in the magazine. They could have at least given me a free magazine. Anyway, but I joined this playwriting class because I was like, okay, I need 1 extra hour, and this is like 3 hours. I think it was 3 hours, it's 3 credit hours. I ended up taking the class, and we had to write a scene, like a 5-minute or 10-minute scene, every single week. So what does Hannah do? Hannah writes it the night before, and it's fine, or the morning of. And also, the writings would be presented to the class. You have to give a copy to every single person, and you pick people to read for each character. And after it's read, everyone goes around and says what they think about it. And as the writer, it was a rule in the class that as the writer, you cannot say anything. The first 10-minute play that I wrote, it went around the theater. People are like, this is the best play that was written in this class. And I'm like, are you sure about that? My professor was like, Hannah, if you ever want to like publish something, like contact me. If you ever need a letter of recommendation, contact me. And I'm like, I'm not publishing anything. I'm sorry. I just need some time to like read my own stuff and figure out if this actually is good. All of that, banquet comes, it's the end of my sophomore year, and I cannot believe it. Like, what? My sophomore year is already up? I'm confused. But, good thing for me, I was voted to be vice president of the oldest student organization on Auburn's campus. Even if you've never experienced anything about theater, AU Players is still so inviting. We have game nights and bowling, and like, it's so fun, I'm telling you. Yeah, at the banquet, actually, I won this award. I was like so not expecting that. And it was for the dance concert, the work that I did in the dance concert. I guess the bloody feet and all of that worked out so well. It was such a blessing, like 100% a blessing from God. When I went to accept my award, I hugged my choreographer, one of my dance teachers. I hugged her, and she whispered in my ear, she's like, we're definitely gonna have to talk about you becoming a dance minor. I was like a dance minor. Excuse me? Like I said, trauma from dance is definitely there. So I was like, okay, we'll think about it. And what I did was I prayed about it. I prayed about it for like a whole week. And even this summer, I was like praying over it. God was like, become a dance minor. So I was like, oh, if anything goes out, it'll be my phone. Like my phone will die first. No, it was the camera. So where was I? Crud. Think. Just like being away from dance for so long and then having all of this come back. Okay, so this is me editing. I forgot to mention that I got a locker from one of the seniors, and this rule is that like for this specific locker, you pass it down to the baddest girl in the theater, and I got it, so whatever that means, yeah. What I'm doing next year. So I'm becoming a dance minor, vice president of AU Players. I just got cast in the first show of the season. Once again, another blessing from God. I've just been like so excited to dive into this role. Like, she is a superstar. Like, literally her name is Barbara Superstar. Like, not superstar, superstar. And I'm so excited to play a diva. Also, side eye, because I'm always getting cast as a villain. Do I look like a villain? Don't answer that. Do not answer that, okay? I don't. I don't. And I'm not mean. I'm not mean to anybody. Anyway, now my coffee is like watered down. What can I say? Rejoice, I guess. I also want to remind you, like, these are highlights, okay? These are highlight moments. The moments where I was like a little sad. I did not record those because I can't remember, but I do know that I was sad in some moments, or like I was frustrated or angry, or I didn't feel good, I had a headache, or whatever. Not everything is perfect, but I am definitely blessed. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye. It's not that